Hello and welcome. I'm Patrick Heatcraft. Today we're going to be going over some basic topics that focus on the iGeneration and how we as marketers can help advertise to them as they grow to adulthood. The three main questions we're going to be covering today are going to be: how do the children or the founder generation or the iGeneration use and consume electronic media? How are they different from the millennial generation when it comes to electronic media? And as marketers, we must speculate about the best way for our organizations to target and address the iGeneration as they move to adulthood. Now, let's tackle the first question of the day. It's going to be, how do the iGeneration use and consume media? Like the millennials, they've grown up entwined with social media and the technology from birth. They are the first generation to have such technology when it comes to their lives. They've known life with TV that is only on demand. They've known technology to be communication at their fingertips for anything they want to know at the touch of a fingertip. Oftentimes we can find the members of the iGeneration standing side by side, talking to each other via their cell phones, not even actually talking, all being done in a digital space. Now, to go over our second question, which is going to be, how do the iGeneration or the founders differ from the millennial generation when it comes to electronic media? Well, one of the biggest key features of note is going to be the millennials were more like digital pioneers in a sense when it comes to the new media, when it comes to social media and technology. They laid the foundation for what the iGeneration are using now and are going to thrive in. And with that said, the iGeneration, they were born with this stuff in hand. So instead of being digital pioneers, they're just living the life of digital native when it comes to living now. Another key factor when it comes to being a digital native for our iGeneration is old media is no longer going to have an impact on their lives. We can see the trends nowadays where old media is already dying, such as newspapers. Even traditional broadcasting media is having to change and try and keep up with the times as consumers shy away from that to get their tidbits in YouTube or other services in 10-second, 5-minute clips. So as times change with these digital natives, we as marketers must keep up and allow ourselves new ideas when it comes to advertising to these generations. And now for our last question of the day, which is going to be basically speculating how is going to be the best way for our organizations to target and address the iGeneration as they move into adulthood. Well, as the iGeneration adopt even firmer grasps on what technology and social media have to offer, that's going to be our best way to target them in their daily lives. They are moving more and more into even larger amounts of social media time and interaction with their electronic devices, whether it be tablets, cell phones, or even desktop computers. And we must remember that to keep up with the trends, we must follow them closely. We see faster and faster trends as these social media sites grow and die. In my lifetime, I've witnessed the rise of MySpace, the fall of it. The king themselves, Facebook, take the throne, and even now, they're starting to dwindle, with many generations, especially the iGeneration, trending away from it, going to sites like Instagram as their primary social media platform. Now, I'm not saying that Facebook's going to die or lose its spot on top, but these emerging media sources are going to be something we need to keep up with and recognize that that should be our target for these generations. We want to market, we need to follow them as they move further and further along in social media spaces. To wrap things up about how we as marketers need to target and how we're going to adapt to the ever-growing space of social media and how we're going to target these iGeneration/founder members. We need to remember that social media will always be a developing technology because there are going to be new places, new sites, new apps that are always coming along that we need to target and focus on. And we also need to make sure that we acknowledge that traditional or old media eventually is going to die and the whole market space is going to change, and we need to keep up with the times and make sure we're advertising, keeping our focuses true, and make sure we give full thought to even the newest generations because they will eventually become our main consumer.